On this Thursday morning, I invite us to turn yet again to Luke's Gospel, chapter 16, and this fascinating parable and the outworking of it. Yesterday, we looked particularly at verse 10, and today let us read from verse 11 to verse 15. Jesus talks about trust, and we are preparing for the season of Advent, that season where we prepare for our Lord to come again. And the question for each one of us is, when he comes, when we meet him, be that as he comes with the saints and for the saints, whichever side of that great gathering we're on, it doesn't matter. We are with him. What will you have taken with you to present to him? What will be the outworking of the trust that he has given you? Trust is part of the package of faith. Faithfulness, as we saw yesterday, is something that is operational. It lives, we practice it, we exercise it. It can grow or shrivel. And trust is the faith that we have resting into God. We are at peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ. And whatever the circumstances, and they may be many, they may be difficult, they may be easy, trust remains the same. Now, Jesus uses the illustration of money, and he uses it in such a way as it is a kind of thermometer as to whether we can be trusted with the things of the kingdom. He actually sees it as a very small thing, and yet the Bible is packed with illustration about money, how it can do so much good, how it can do so much damage. The New Testament itself, building out of tithes and offerings, seems to suggest that God's grace is one of giving, and that's how we are to live. So God has given us much. And as we examine and as we look into our own hearts, it's what we do with what God has given when nobody is looking that counts, that builds the integrity of our hearts, that we call and God calls devotion. Yes, it's his Spirit working, but it's his Spirit working in us and through us and with us, calling us to be devoted to him first, above everything, everyone, and every situation first. So here we are. Jesus says, whoever can be trusted with very little. See, God's desire is always to give the more. God's desire is for the expansion of his rule and reign for you personally, but then through you into the lives of many others. And it often begins in the simple things, in the hidden things. Whoever can be trusted with little can also be trusted with much. And then he goes on to say, you cannot serve two masters. And we've often shared that schoolboy answer, you cannot serve two masters, but most of us give it a jolly good try. Why don't we today ask God to help us, that we may serve him first? Put down the other master, because any other master is sucking your energy, your emotions, your will, arguably your health. Be faithful in what God has given, and let us look for the expansion.